Trauma. Trauma is fucking wild. When it comes to trauma, probably what is most fascinating to me is the generational side of trauma, right? The passing down of the hot potato, the you take it, right? I thought about that. I don't remember how long ago it was. I think it was somewhere in the past, 2 years. It's like this game of hot potato, right? Generational trauma. Oh my god, this is too hot. You take it. I'm gonna fuck you up, son. Patterns. Breaking patterns, right? Trauma usually leads people to feel, well, I don't want to generalize it and say it's just one thing, because I can imagine that it makes people feel many different things, right? But what I want to focus on in this video, as well as something that I have felt specifically, unworthiness. Trauma can make a person feel unworthy, right? And it makes sense too, right? If there's abandonment, right? If somebody is traumatized by abandonment, whether it's physical abandonment, emotional abandonment, right? They're going to feel unworthy, right? They're going to feel inherently defective. They're going to feel like they're, I don't know, a piece of shit, right? They're not worth showing up for. They're not worthy of, having their needs met, right? And so what's fascinating about this, I heard somebody else on YouTube talking about this, and I thought that it was a very kind of interesting concept. Worth is inherent in our nature, right? As babies, we don't have to do anything to be worthy. We're just inherently worthy. This is what I heard the person talking about. So I just thought it was a fascinating thing, and I kind of just wanted to look at it. And as babies, we don't have to do anything to be worthy. We're just inherently worthy. But then when the trauma happens, regardless of what the trauma is, physical abandonment, emotional abandonment, any other type of trauma, right? We get fragmented, we get fractured, we get broken, right? And then, it's like we're not really taught about our worth, and that's one of the biggest issues. I mean, many people are, but many people also aren't. And the people that aren't, they don't know, or they forget, right? If we were aware enough as babies to know the difference, we wouldn't have taken on all the trauma, right? Well, when you feel unworthy because you forget that you are worthy, or you just don't know that you are worthy, it's kind of like realizing you're worthy is like waking up from a fucking nightmare, right? And it's wild too, because I look at my own life, and I have felt unworthy before for many different reasons. Not going to get into any of them, but I think about it and I'm like, well, if my ideas and my beliefs of unworth came from somebody else, then I don't have to carry this around. It's not mine. I am inherently worthy. I always have been. I'm not inherently defective. I'm not a piece of shit. It's just wild. When you think about it, you can actually separate yourself from unworth and look at it from afar and be like, oh, look at you, you ugly motherfucker. Holy shit, you are not mine. And the other thing about unworth too is it has to do with trauma, what other people gave us, right? I'm going to give you this hot potato because it's really painful to carry around. Yours. No. Boundaries. Right? No, that's not mine. That's yours. Take it back. And so, when I think about unworthiness, the more I heal, the more I see it for what it is, and I'm like, not mine. I'm not unworthy. And by the way, you're not either. You gave it to me, but you're not unworthy either. Unworthiness is actually an illusion, because it's separating a person from their true nature, right? It's an illusion. It's like, if it's right in front of you and you can't see it, it's because something's covering your vision, right? Unworthiness is inherent. No, sorry. The opposite of that. Worthiness is inherent in our nature, right? It's only trauma that creates this illusion that we are unworthy, right? We don't have to do anything. You know, people think that they have to do things to be worthy. You don't. You're already worthy. I'm already worthy. Everyone's already worthy. It's really just a matter of returning to the self, the authenticity of the self, and just being one with that. And it's such a wild thing to just look at this for what it is. When you feel unworthy, it's probably because, one, you either didn't know ever that you are worthy, or two, as a result of trauma, you fucking forgot that you were, which is really easy to do, you know? Trauma. Somebody calls you a piece of shit. Somebody abandons you. Somebody neglects you. You don't get your emotional needs met. Yeah, it's going to be really easy to believe that you are unworthy. However, you're not.